14 is Hertz, 67 Dixie Castleman, and the South African Matadors. They go through the TNNSs. Best there. Hilton Cowie's in there, that's the championship. Hilton Cowie in the white card just behind him. Good place to go. He comes up from Thatcher, man from the Transvaal, Ian Hertz, and a his future brother-in-law. As they go round, yellow pages through forward corner, and there's nothing in it. This is the type of racing Formula Fords are. And also in fourth position, we've got number 5. And we'll see who that is. 5 is Andre Duplessis. He comes from the Transvaal Pretoria as well. That's him in fourth, and you can see another mighty battle just behind them.
Meneer Roger hier, die van een van die omwillende Ford wedrenne is. Dit is 1600cc standaard Ford machine wat hier gebruikt wordt, standaard padbanden. En dit is Baselman en die Silencer Services Matador, wat daar aan die buitenkant voorbij schrijft voorbij Ian Hertz en die Royal. En nummer 8 is Hilton Cowie, die 3 van hulle is daar bij elkaar, maar daar is weer die bedrieglijke Beringman draai, 360 graden draai. Je gaat precies in je sporen terug, die draai moet baie stadig geneem word. En dit is hier aangezien die motors so baie na bij elkaar is, die wielen oop is, moet hulle baie voorzichtig daar weer kom. Maar nog steeds is het Ian Hertz, maar als Man is voorbij, Baselman is voorbij. En die Matador, onze nieuwe voorloper, nummer 67, is Baselman, dan is het nummer 14 Ian Hertz. En dan is het Hilton Cowie, wat ook, kijk daarvoor Ian Hertz, voor Baselman, ons kan zien. Die banden is ongeveer 165, die gewone standaard breedte banden, wat hier gebruikt wordt in die 1600cc Ford machine. En enig iets kan makkelijk gebeuren.
It looks like Hilton Cowie's in problems there, John. I see he's got lots of smoke pouring out the back of his car. Not a good way to start a 16-lap race. They've just finished the 1, they're just finishing 2 now, and there's a lot of smoke coming up. That could be trouble for him.
Ja, die eerst gedink is cementstof waar daar opgeskopt wordt, maar jy is helemaal recht, Roger. Hij heeft geen probleem, daar kan ons duidelijk nou zien aan de achterkant bij die uitlaatpijp dat hij Lexus folie rook wat daar uitkomt. En dit kan betekenen dat de ringen of binnen in die engine heeft daar een paar problemen plaatsgevonden. Maar nog steeds hou je dat daarbij in die derde positie, Hilton Cowie en die rij. En als we weer die Westbank draai gaan, redelijke scherp draaikies naar links en naar rechts, die straatbaan in Durban. Baie interessante baan wat die ontwerp is. Daar is er in die breedste gedeelte wat ons heeft, 3 banen, die breedste gedeelte, en dan is het weer die liederlijke draai, die 360 graden draai, wat ik denk enige in zijn nachtmerrie is. Enige van die deelnemers, vooral die motorfietsen volgen, heeft ook een paar van hen daar kort gekomen, want het is net die geringste stampie waar een die aan die raak, die die snelheid wat we daar weer gaan, en dit is waar iemand die hulle motorfietsen al reeds verloren, van die motors volgen ook, heeft ook daar problemen gekregen. Maar Baselman en die is die man met die kar nou totaal en al opdraai. Hilton Cowie hou nog bij, alhoewel daar rook aan de achterkant bij zijn motor uitkomt en hij definitief geen probleem met. Heeft hij ook besluit om nou wat te rijden en te kijken, dan gaan die 16 rondes maken, dan zal er reeds 14 rondes, 2 rondes spoor, voorbij, 14 rondes spoor. So hij zal moet kijken om die motor al zo hard te drukken als hij kan en dan die positie te houden. Dus dat is geen ernstige probleem niet. Maar die man wat allemaal uitloopt is Baselman, wat al voorheen met kampioen was, maar daar zijn 1 minuut 10,69 seconden met 132 km per uur gemiddeld. Dat is glad niet slecht niet. En dit voor een 1600cc standaard 1600cc machine is het werkelijk waar iets wat te doen is. So Baselman, die man heel voor en die Silencer Services Matador met Ian Hertz tweede, Hilton Cowie, dan komt Andre Duplessis en nog een Matador, Duncan Vos, Brown Smith, Gawie Guisman van de Belpark en Perry Flynn in die Royal P2 in de 8e positie. So dit is de eerste 8 posities, maar die groot gespoord is heel voor tussen Hertz en dit is nou Hilton Cowie met die rokende motor wat zijn neus daar onderom indrukt en die pijlpak vat ongeveer zo'n 500 meter en ons moet zien wat gaan gebeuren of die motor van hem inderdaad gaan houden.
And Baselman doesn't seem to be getting away as we thought he would. He likes to lead from the front. He's very good at it. The pressure doesn't worry him. Ian Hertz is next. There's Hilton Cowie. He's going to run that car until it runs dry. He's intent on keeping his lead in the AP Formula 4 Championship. Oh, Hertz getting a little bit tatty there, clipping a bunch of tyres as he comes through. You don't want to do that too often. That flag, that blue flag being waved is telling him move over. There's someone trying to pass you. You don't have to tell him. He looks in those mirrors alongside him and he can see his mirror full of white motor car Hilton Cowie. You can also hear him behind him. There's the leader, Baselman. He's got himself at just over a second in the front, moving up, closing up on his Andre Duplessis. There you see him in that much lower Matador just behind him. And then we've got another Great Smith and Duncan Foss is in there. Another Matador, Bram Smith, Paddy Flynn, Dave Sinclair's in there too. This is what Formula Ford racing is always about wherever you see it around the country. And Cowie keeping up the pressure, go through the West Bank S's. Coming up now, that is Andre Duplessis, a nice shot as they go down those 500 metres, nothing between those cars. There's only a second or two. There the others coming to picture now, Duncan Foss and Bromsworth. Onto the brakes, he's going to try something clever here, Hilton Cowie. As this race gets on, you're going to find them braking earlier and earlier because the brakes don't get time to cool, and you find they are not getting the bite when you want them to slow you down. In fact, you go on far further than you'd like to on your approach to the corner. Coming down the tricky chicane, you get a nice frontal view. They go flick it left and right here. Nobody's come and missed their practice on the racing so far. Hilton Cowie, smoke or not, he's staying right in the ballpark. It could, of course, just be a leaking oil pipe getting onto the exhaust. Oil smoke makes a lot of smoke. As always say, a little oil makes a lot of smoke. But he's trying. When you're down next to the track, it is furious racing here. You can smell the hot tires as they lock the hot wheel. You can smell the hot oil. You can certainly smell the clutches and the brakes getting worked. And Basil Mann hasn't got the lead he'd like to have. They're starting to close on him. Whether he's leading it from the front and staying, just planning it this way, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Ian Hertz, because they could be future brother-in-law, might have other ideas. His man trying to play it cleverly. It's a standard road-going tyres, steel-belted radials they use, whether it be Uniroyals or Contis, Firestones in there as well. South African-made tyres on the Goodyears. They've got to run on the South African-made steel-belted, and we've got problems. Someone's got problems if Man goes past him. We've still got Hertz in the picture, making the challenge. So Man is not leading it as he'd like. And here comes Hilton Cowie. Probably looking at his temperature gauge or his oil pressure gauge, saying to himself, well, I wonder where that went to. But it's not affecting him. He's going to run that Ford motor until the death rattle, because he wants to keep his lead in the championship. And he's leading the championship ahead at the moment of Andy Keeley. Hasn't come into the picture yet, and Andre Duplessis is very much thereabouts. Not everybody's cup of tea is street circuit. You've got to be very careful. You can't make mistakes. They've got a back marker holding up. As they come now through there, it's Dennis Montgomery by the look of it, or Donald Behrens coming through in his Ray 81. And here he comes. So Man is through, going into, it's Donald Behrens coming through into yellow pages. He's keeping them up. Hilton Cowie now has got Andre Duplessis in a very strong, challenging position. Man into sight. It's like a Grand Prix circuit with the streets of Durban, packed with people, enjoying the sunshine and enjoying this high-speed motor racing.
Roger, ik denk je zit hem maar recht. Die stranden is vandaag zekerlijk leeg, want ik reken allemaal wat leeg en beef in Durban moet vandaag hier wees, want al die paviljoene is gepakt van hoek tot kant. Die recht rondom die baan is daar mensen, uitzonderlijke dag, uitstekende weer. Maar kom ons terug hier bij die wedrennen. En Basil Mann het definitief niet die voordeel of die afstand wat hij graag wou gehandhaafd het niet. Ian Hertz is daar kort op zijn hakken. En Hilton Cowie met die rokende motor nummer 8 houdt nog steeds daarbij. So dat kan wel net de oliepijp wees wat lek en dan op die warm engine klomp rook veroorzaak. Daar is weer die Beringman draai en nou is er weer een lang pad terug, 500 meter ongeveer, voor bij die volgende draai komt met Basil Mann in die wedstrijd voor Ian Hertz, Hilton Cowie en dan Andre Duplessis. Andre Duplessis lekker veel opschuif. En daar kan je zien, dit is Bram Smit wat gewoonlijk hier in die voorste gestoeltes rijden, is daar in die 5de positie vir die stad in nummer 9 en die andere matador, Bram Smit, klein kort mannetjie wat werkelijk maar weet hoe om een motor te hanteer. En ons zal hem nou binnenkort zien. Ik reken aan geelmotor zijn. Hij is bekend voor die geelmotor. Maar daar is Basil Mann. En daar kan je zien, precies de afstand zien tussen hem en Ian Hertz. Vorige gelegenheid was Ian Hertz al nader nog geweest. Maar het is hier nou na zo'n 6 rondes, na zo'n 10 rondes oor, waar ik reken die, ik zei die redelijk op de uitgenomen, maar dat is die sponsor op de raad. Voor al die snelheden wat we hier zo rijden, ons te zien dat Basil Mann gemiddeld van 128 km per uur opstelt. En ons moet in gedachte houden dat hij 128 eindelijk uitzonderlijk goed is. Want als wat die scherp draaien, wat baie stadig deurgegaan wordt, is dit wel wat is slecht voor hierdie type baan, die straatbaan hier in Durban. Raak kunnen zien hoe die motors verspreid is, onder elkaar uitgespreid is. Andere plezier dat dit komt Bram Smit, Duncan Foss, Perry Flynn en Dave Sinclair. En dat is na 7 rondes met Mann, Basil Ian Hertz. Dan is het Cowie, Duplessis, Smit en Foss. Dit is die eerste 6 posities na 7 rondes en dit is een 16 ronde wedren. So enig iets kan nog gebeuren. Die eerste 4 motors is baie na mekaar en ons het vroeger gezien hoe dit gebeur indien die, vooral met die wielen wat na mekaar kom, is het een lichte stampie wat een groot gevolg kan heen. Maar ek reken Basil Mann het nou al die druk op hom. Ek dink een baie sielkundige wedren ook vir hom, want hy ken Ian Hertz baie goed, hy ken al die deelnemers wat al baie samen deelgeneem. En dit is een interessante baan en een nieuwe baan. Nie een van hulle het al baie hier geoefen nie. So dit maak die wedren net soveel meer opwindend. Selfs nogmaals nie net vir die toeskouers nie, maar ook vir die renjaars, want hulle weet nie presies, alhoewel hulle herendeel net baie goed ken, weet hulle presies wat die man agter hom gaan maak nie. En dis Basilman, maar nog steeds hou Basilman, daar lyk my asof Hilton Cowie se motor nou iets wat opgerook het, en dit is vir my 'n teken dat hy nie 'n drastiese engine probleem het nie, want as hy nie by agterraak nie, hy hou nog steeds aan die derde posisie agter Ian Hurts. Nou en dan lyk dit hy iets wat nader skuif. Weer deur die beesman draai, redelijk in skerp is. Ons van die motorfiets vanoggend gesien, ons altyd gereken dat die ou S in Kailami iets besonders is, maar hier in Durban, by hierdie straatbaan, waar die S'e baie nouer is, dit was nog wel 'n interessante gesig geweest om te sien hoe die manne van links na rechts oorleef, maar dit is Cowie wat hier is. Cowie is verby Hurts, daar kan ons inderdaad iemand bietjie wyd gegaan, dit lyk vir my na, het kan nummer 6 gewees het, maar dit is precies wat gebeur, soos ek sê, die remme begin bietjie sponsorig word, die bande begin bietjie moegerig word, en veral met die is het nou seker te wachten om hier en daar 'n probleem te kry, maar dit is Hurts wat weer verby is, nummer 14, hy is weer verby Cowie, op die stadium is Cowie van Weiland geweest in die Beringman drive, maar dit kan wat net weer eens aanduiding wees dat Cowie toch 'n probleem met sy motor het, dat hy nie daar die volgehouden snelheid, die snelheid kan hou nie, en vir Ian Hurts kans gee om deur te kom. So Ian Hurts in die tweede positie met Basilman nog steeds heel makkelijk in die eerste positie, maar ek denk in die druk is nog steeds op hom, en het gaan vir hom 'n moeilike wedren wees tot aan die einde van die 16 rondes.
Right, they've got 9 laps to go now. It's 1,3 seconds that Basilman is leading Ian Hurts by as they go round there. The Cowie certainly showing that he's very competitive as he goes through the S's there, nothing into these three motor cars. A little further back you see Andre Duplessis seems to have faded a wee, but then Bram Smith coming up to challenge is Duncan Smith. No, Bram Smith is starting to close now on this leading trio. We'll see them a little later in the race, I'm sure. But you can see they're starting to brake a lot later. They are starting to slide a lot more. The tires are getting hot, the brakes are getting hot. I'm sure their temperature gauges are showing that the water temperature is way up there, way over boiling as they rear these little motors. Man looking like he is controlling it from the front. They got a lot closer to him. There's a back marker just holding them up as they come through. That's Hein Lorenz into Formula Ford racing as well. They come through the TNN S's, and I'm not so sure that Hilton Cowie smoke is not a secret weapon. He's got just to puff in the way of the man behind him. So he's challenging him now, watching goes right up and racing. They line up for yellow pages, accelerate through 50 metres to the forward right-hander. Now they start powering on past the back marker. Can't believe they come past him so quickly. We can forget about Basilman in the front, but these are the two that are going to have a fight to the finish. 10 laps are gone now. Man is leading in the Matador, the South African built Matador. Ian Hurts in the Royale, Hilton Cowie in the Ray, and then Bram Smith. I'm familiar, I couldn't quite see the car. I think he's also in the Ray at the moment. Here they're coming to the S's. We'll see the others coming through now. That's the back marker. Here's Bram Smith. There's Bram Smith in number 9. You saw him come through there. He's in a Ray. So he's starting to close. He could be a threat as they're going to the braking a lot early. You can see they used to stand on the brakes about 20 metres before that, and they are starting to go very late into that course. Now they're heading down NMR Avenue as hard as they can go. 500 metres, that little chicane is round the sweep. It's a tricky one. As you're in the middle of taking a sweep, you suddenly got a little chicane confronting you. You see there now. Man goes out of picture, and here comes Hurts, and he knows the challenge is right on. Hilton Cowie, youngster, he's into Stanley Group in racing as well. He's a very competitive driver, is Hilton Cowie. He'd love to get past Ian Hurts and have a go at man, I'm sure. And he's one of our batch of up-and-coming youngsters, like, he's getting closer now, like Michael Briggs, like Chris Aberdeen, and some of these others that are really starting to shape in these motocross. Now they're getting into big time racing. Keeping the pressure on all the time as they come up into the back markers. So we've just got 5 laps to go now, and the back markers can change this race. 53 is Flip Pachine. Cowie is looking at that red car ahead of him and looking for a place to pass it. Tactical racing, and they're going around there 10/10ths as you see there's man ahead of them. Man, Ian Hurts, now watch under the brakes. You can see the car starting to snake across the road as they stand on the brakes. On there, he hasn't got anything on him. They are just similar as they accelerate. And that smoke, if he's got any oil left, it's not going to worry him at all. And then from this good hill out, Cowie to close up. Man comes through, 21 they've come up onto him, that's Brett Freeman. In another South African Matador, they want him out of the way, but Cowie's liking him because he's getting closer. He might just be able to pull him right behind him and take him on the inside. Let's see if he's got to pick up his sleeve. Across the slow man, no, they both got through. But allowed him to close up right on his tail. He's picked through here. Through the right-handed Yellow Pages. Looks at his mirrors, starts to pour it on again. His man, he got to put it out. So 12 laps are gone now. Man comes through. Oh, oops, and he's out of it. That's the oil eventually ran out. And Hilton Cowie did have oil trouble. As you see him come to a stop, he must have seized his motor there. But what a great performance he put on there. After 12 laps, Hilton Cowie opts out of this race with a bit of mechanical problem. So that'll move Andre Duplessis up to third position, Bram Smith up to fourth as they come towards us. Basil Mann. There's Mann on the right-hand side, and Ian Hertz is a lot closer to him with the traffic in the way, and he's right on his tail. Going to try and take a time line as Mann goes through. The red car is Hertz as they come out of there, and it's less than a second between Mann and Ian Hertz.
Roger, Jannie, ik denk dat is hier waar die wedren baie interessant van raak. Ons het nou reeds gesien dat Cowie uit is as gevolg van, ek reken het moes net daai olieprobleem gewees het. Maar nou is daar stadige motors in die pad en Basil Mann en Ian Hertz. Dit is net hier waar dinge dalk net kan gebeur vir hulle. Ons nou gesien dat Hertz baie wyd gegaan het. Ian Hertz wil nie, want daar is nou 'n stadige motor voor hom. Hy wil nie graag vir Basil Mann laat wegkom nie. En dan gaan hy noodgedwongen die motor bietjie harder deur die draai en druk. En dit is as gevolg van die bande wat bietjie gladder begin raak en die remme wat nie presies wat bietjie oorverhit is, gaan hy dalk begin kanse vat. En dit is gewoonlik in die laaste doodstukke van die Formule 4 wedren waar die opwindende en interessante gewoonlik gesien word en interessante manoeuvres wat uitgevoerd word deur die manne. Maar Ian Hertz, alhoewel hy met een van die stadige motors wat verloor het op Basil Mann, het hy nou weer een goeie stukje nader gekomen as die oor die M&R hoofweg gaan. En ons kyk tussen Mann en Duplessis, wat die derde posisie is na 13,5 secondes of 438 meter. So dit is nie vreeslik baie nie as ons kyk na die stelle wat die opgestel het, maar in beeld kan ons dan duidelik sien dat die twee glad nie naby mekaar is nie, die eerste en die derde man. So Andre Duplessis het opgeskuif derde toe as gevolg van Hilton Cowie wat uitgesak het. Bram Smith is nou in die vierde posisie, dan Paddy Flynn, Duncan Vos en Dave Sinclair. Maar as gevolg van die stadige motor tussen Hertz, wat daar was tussen Hertz, Ian Hertz en Basil Mann, nog steeds nummer 58, wat van daar probleem of 2 gee, is het Clark Bishop. Geet het weer vir Basil Mann die geleentheid om hele eentjie onder hom uit te trek. En Ian Hertz dan sodoende in 'n mate noodgedwongen moet terugzak en hy kan nie daar saam met Basil Mann die kop dik genoeg aanmaak nie. Maar daar is 58 soos nou gesê het, een van die manne wat so iets wat verder achter in die veld is. Maar Basil Mann wat al Formule 4 kampioen was, ek reken sy 2 jaar terug is my verheer, maar hy nie steek laat nie. Dan is het Ian Hertz in die tweede posisie, Andre Duplessis, Bram Smith, Paddy Flynn en Duncan Vos. So daar is 2 rondes oor in die Formule 4 wedren, dis 16 rondes en vir die straat wedren is het nogal heel wat. Dis seker so by die 42 kilometer as ons kyk na 2,5, 2,6 kilometer per ronde. Maar daar is die man in beeld. Dis op pad is na die Beringman draai. Ek reken in die tyd hoort hy al sy lyn deur die draai goed uit te gewerk het. Want dit is 'n baie bedrieglike draai omdat hy presies 360 grade terug gaan en jy moet verskriklik stadiger gaan. En aangezien net voor net na 'n vuilvak is, reken ek is dit die remme wat nogal oortyd werk daar om die motor stadig genoeg deur die draai te kry sonder dat hy die groot sementblokke en die strooibale aan die kant en die sperreling dat hy dit nie gaan raak nie. Maar Basil Mann, 'n baie bestendige wedren wat hy vandag hier gery het in die Formule 4 in sy Sign Services Matador. En hy het al vir 'n geruime tydjie verlede jaar het hy 'n bietjie gesukkel hier en daar met 'n borg gewat, maar dit lyk vir my asof hy nou baie kompetent is en Basil Mann inderdaad die man gaan wees wat moet geklop word in hierdie seisoen.
Well, that's a multiple champion you've got in front of you now. Every time he does appear as he goes into his last lap, every time he appears in a Formula 4 race, he seems to take control. As he did at Velkom, he came from the middle of the pack, came right through the field. There's the his proposed brother-in-law. That's the second man. The leader is there. He goes there. That's Basil Man. Here's the second man, Ian Hurt. That's going to be the final, but you can see them slipping and sliding. Andre Duplessis hasn't got that much closer. There he comes down the road now. So they're into their last lap. They've got about 1.5 kilometers to go. Man taking it very easy as he goes in there. Actually, when you stand up next to that road, they come at you. Oh, he can hardly make it. He could hardly make it. He powered on. Those tires just let go across the road. That road is slippery. Those tires are hot as they come down towards us. Another great drive from him. He's taken the lead from the start of this race, and he's held it virtually faultlessly throughout. Look how compact he is in that South African World Championship. They won the championship last year with Graham Smith. A very good drive. The driver sitting there like a Formula 1 driver. He's stepped in round his thighs, round his shoulders. He can hardly move anything but his ankles, and he's got his elbows down. Here he comes down to get the checkered flag. It's the first automotive product Formula Ford race we've had in the street circuit of Durban, and Basil Man rightfully takes the checkered flag to win it. There he is, coming through to win it. A very happy man, and just 1.5 seconds behind him is Ian Hertz in the Royale. A very good win there for Basil Man in the silencer services Matador, the South African bulk machine, and he makes it look so easy. There he takes his helmet off. You can get a close look at him as he goes down there. Fine driver, raced overseas and done very well. So the final order: Basil Man in the Matador, the silencer services Matador, wins it in front of this vast crowd. Ian Hurt second in the Royale. Third is Andre Duplessis from Pretoria in another South African bull Matador, so the South African cars doing well. Fourth is Graham Smith in an unfamiliar ray. Fifth is Paddy Flynn in the Royale, and Duncan Foss came in his Matador ahead of Tharby Coast and Armin Levy in the ray. We can sell it to the people, man. Okay. Keep the tape, we can give it to these Formula Ford guys. Dylan, if you keep that tape, we'll give it to the Formula Ford guys. Oh, I see. Okay. So we can get copies of this. Because you see a hell of a lot of those cars, eh? It's a cucky race, but you see a lot of cars. Now the West Bank Modifieds. The big boys are here. Yeah. Take off. This is over 10 laps, eh? That's the right length all these races should be. 10 laps. 10 Rontas. Yeah. Yes? You sound lovely. It's 10 rounds, eh? 10 laps. Rontas. Let's just see who the guys are. at them pouring the cement on, eh? Yes, on the right there.
Do you think they're not full edge?
What's it look like when you look out past the pilot? You're kidding. Why? Because he's in it. You bullshit, man. Who told you that? There they stand. Yeah. Move a lot. Ask Trevor to go forward what it looks like next to the pilot. Can he turn around? Oh, nice. Is he strapped in there, Trevor? Tip the chopper. There, okay, there's the modifiers. There they are. What's it look like from the front? There are the boykies, man. Tough stuff, that looks lekker. Smile for us, smile. Oh, we got dogs here.
I think you're quite right. He hasn't made it onto the line, but we will run to the good again. Maybe on pole position, alongside him, William and that Ford, Sierra, X-Ray from that team. Then second row now, Unedited, all good on, and then we'll again be in one of the because I hope he's out on the good, but I presume he's now in the first because he's always out there, ready to go, and it's so exciting not to see him. We then have Ivan Ross up there, and Ryan the same mate. Ryan, the first of the skyline, there's quite a few out on the good, and they are certainly quick cars. Once they sort of have the inside corners. And then behind them we have Bonnie else in that Alpha TV, and the alongside him we have first of the last cars, and then he's also from the same battery team, and
who drives the pace car? Do we know?
We're playing modified tuning car championship, and he would love to win the
pace car pilots, it's William and McWilliams.
Everything is in it. Next up, we have Lord Fisher in that yellow Opel Berry. The Sirius car, and Lord can certainly watch that a little around here. Alongside him, Johan Fisher, and he isn't much in his time. Lord's time is in second, 81.69, and Johan is 81.40. So, there's nothing in it. The start is going to be something else, because the man that gets ahead is going to be really difficult to get by anywhere on the circuit, because
those cyclists got the track down at 9:30 this morning, by the way. There's a 2-minute board about to go up. That means get your doors closed, strap. Correct. 2 minutes board.
And the paper is really taken away, the light flashing on the roof, the worker armor, it is like 190, it has extremely low profile tires, as it is, and it's a 2.360 mile car, and the superb car that is going to be used, it's going to be taking the Western modified cylinders around, and the road will be underway. Well, that's the as they come here on the place.
1 minute. 1 minute. And here comes the rolling thunder of the West Bank modified saloon cars. They're all standing on the grid, all 40 of them. They've come down to Durban, and they're going to thunder around the streets of Durban and provide some great action. And there they are on pole, Tony Vion in the Winfield BMW M5. Alongside him, the animal, Willie Hepburn, a little man who handles this beast of a motor car so well. That's Sabat Sierra, 5 litres of V8 Ford Mustang power. Ben Morgan, who's next, he's off to America on Monday, going to look for some parts to make this car go faster. Not far behind them at all, and a lightweight car, lots of acceleration out the corners. Henny van der Linde looks like he's missing from the grid. Had a bit of gearbox trouble in practice. Then it's Ivaraj from East London, and in the RX-7 Mazda, that's the Hyperspares Mazda. And then Brian Verzaden in the Vista Home Skyline is right up there on the 3rd row of the grid. There you can see he's wobbling his car just behind them as they go around Volkswagen corner. It's the full field. Everybody who had a West Bank modified saloon took it out of his garage and brought it down to Durban. And these streets of Durban have certainly roared to the excitement of racing machinery, from everything from Ferraris down to 125cc motorcycles. And just look at them. Peter Lance is well up there. He's in his Sabat Golf. Dick Sorensen had a bit of trouble. He's down in the back. There's the New Era Skyline. You could have just seen going through there. That's Nick van Rensburg. And here's BP Nissan. That's one of the 3-litre Nissan 6s. All the others. Brian Cook is in down there. He's the man who chairs the West Bank Modified Association. And there's the heavy metal coming around. Ivaraj is just going around wide with David alongside him. A nice performance there from Farney Else from Cape Town. He's in an Alpha GTV The white one, number 27, nice to see, V6 3-litre Alphas, still in action, still able to get on the third or fourth row of the grid. Peter Lance is leading Class C, that's a 2-litre. One row behind him, George Fishy in Delta Motorsports, Opel Cadet, the yellow one, you'll pick him up easily. He wants to get to grips with Peter Lance. There he just comes into side now, very aggressive, angry looking little motor car. George Fishy just back from racing in Japan. Here they come now, and the pace is being led there by Tony Viana. He has the option of keeping them behind him, so he'll just come round that last corner at forward and power towards the line when it suits him, as he dictates the speed of this field going around on the track. Upstairs, driving Zaydnote on else, George Fishy just coming up behind Peter Lance. I see the Larry Wolford Mazda RX-7 as well up there. It's a new one he's just brought out. He's a very quick driver. Frank Fowles from East London is there in the Mazda RX-7, a beautifully turned out blue and white one. And here they come. Most aggressive and fastest cars in South Africa. So look at them. This 40, they'll be going around on the starting grid and going before those other cars have come around Kings Park Stadium. It's such a big field as the pace car hurries away from Ford Corner. And these front runners are going to go. Some of the others are still in the Kings Park Stadium on that sweep. It shows great definition. Here they come, and away they go. They roll past us, and Willie Hepburn tucked in right behind the wing of that 475 horse BMW. They're pushing out horsepower like Formula One cars of old. They really are powerful. Make no error about it. As they stream through, the man leading Class D, as Jan could see ahead of George Zaydnote, could see in one of the fastest escorts, of course, in the world. Here they come towards us. It's 500 meetings. These are heavy motor cars, anything up to 1,300 kilograms onto the brakes. Hepburn, in fact, drives one of the heaviest ones. He's got to watch for that big stripe of cement there that signifies down. Cement to sweep it up, and here they come. The man's losing out. Morgan Root starts to challenge, and that screaming 6 Winfield BMW is really roaring around the circuit. Here he comes, the BMW, the Sabat Sierra. There is the Morgan Rood, that beefy Mazda. And right on his tail he's got Ivor Ross from King Williamstown. Those are the 4 heavies we got at the moment coming around here. Ivor Ross, very competitive in the peripherally ported Mazda engine, like the Formula Atlantic motors were of old. Nothing between these 4 as they come out of Ford Corner and power towards us. It looks like Monte Carlo as they come through here, and he looks like he's battling with his gearbox. To Tony Viana, he was moving, fiddling with something in his car, and those are the 4 we're going to see up front, but we'll look for some of these other races a little further down the race, down the field as this race progresses.
Tony Viana en die BMW in 5, Willie Hepburn en die Sierra, die Ondier Animal, die V8 Sierra. Dan is het Ben Morgenrood en sy Mazda RX-7 en dan Iverage, maar daar is die BD, die Beringman draai. En dit is Hepburn wat hom baie wyd vat. Hepburn vat hom baie wyd, net gee vir die Mazda RX-7 van Morgenrood kans om weer te kom. So net daai Ford is iets wat van 'n swaar motor, die Mazda is baie lig. En dit is net die paar sekondes wat Morgenrood nodig gehad het om daai Mazda se neus verby te druk. Maar nou gaan Willie Hepburn en die Sabat Sierra gaan nou alles in sy vermoë doen om by daai Mazda verby te kom. Die Ford natuurlik 'n 5 liter V8 masjien in vergelyking met die 1,4 liter of die 1,4 die inhoudskapasiteit van die RX-7. Nou alhoewel hy aangesien hy 'n wankel masjien het, word hy geklassifiseer as 'n 2,3 liter masjien. So hy is daar en hy moet meeding teen die groot kanonne. Die Mazda RX-7 van baie ligter as die groot Ford van Willie Hepburn, en hierdie gaan 'n baie interessante wedren wees tussen die 2 van hulle, want die BMW van Tony Viana is reeds onder lys getrek. Die 6-silinder, die 3,5 liter met die 24 kleppe, onsaglike interessante en kragtige masjien, die 3,5 liter BMW, en hy is heel voor, heeltemal onder uitgetrek, so ek reken die groot stryd gaan wees tussen Morgenrood en die Mazda RX-7 en Willie Hepburn. Fanny Els het opgeskuif in die Alfa GT4, en soos Roger vroeger gesê, dit is absoluut 'n goeie gesig om Alfa weer in sulke kompetisie te sien. Die 3 liter, die V6 3 liter, die GT4 van Fanny Els, hy het hom ingebring in die 4de posisie. Soos kan sien, die motor is redelijk ver uit mekaar uitgesprei, en daar is 'n probleem of 2. Hierdie is een van die Sabat Nissans. Dit lyk vir my na Dave Hawkins. Hy het 'n probleem gekry, Dave Hawkins. Die baan is baie nou, en daar kan ons die randsteen sien aan die linkerkant. So ongelukkig het ons nie presies gesien wat gebeur het nie, maar hy het 'n beleeuwing gekry. Roger, jy het meer inligting wat daar gebeur het.
Well, I think the only way I'm picking it up, John, is that I can smell it. There was hot oil, all right. There was hot oil coming from under that bonnet, and there's a strong smell of it around the circuit as the BMW comes through, being chased now by Morganroot, who's getting away from the big Ford. The big Ford is slowing down. A little further back, the big Ford is pulling off too. Willie Hepburn is pulling off in the Sabat Sierra, and Morganroot now is left in the front there. It's Morganroot in second position, and in third position, Else goes into third. Brian Bezuidenhout is next with George Fishy and Johan Kutsi right behind him. So the race is lying a little further back. There he is. That's the big Ford of, there they are. There's two of the front runners are pulling off there. Dave Hawkins all the way up from Cape Town. And then that big Sabat Ford. And Willie's not finished. He doesn't give up easily. Willie's looking something. There was no smoke coming out of that bonnet. He's on the go and into the back markers already. Comes round that sweep, and just as he's getting himself really tucked in round there, there's the Cape Town Alpha. It looks like Gary Harrison's one. Those colourful ones. That's the Nissan Skyline of Randall with Tillman ahead of him, and here comes the big man. Here comes Tony Viano. He's not hanging around at all. Wasn't really happy about the circuit yesterday when he's practiced. Saul van der Merwe on the other end, his little Group N Volkswagen GT. I just think that the greatest. He says you can really go mad. This is how they race in the States, and you just love it. Put your foot down and power. And Viano's doing just that, getting through the field. Morgan is coming up the road, as you can see. And the fastest lap so far, 1 minute 59, a very, very good time indeed. Very good time indeed. And there those two stationary cars. Willie Hepburn is pushing his car away as Viano goes on his way. And this is now into his fifth lap.
Ja nee, in die vijfde ronde reeds voltooi, daar is net 10 rondes, so halfpad deur die wedren is het Tony Viano in die vrystater, daar van as rus. Wat in die BMW, die M5 hier met die Laure gaan wegstap en die hy nie ander Indian probleme ook optel nie. Maar moet nie vir Den Morganroot totaal al weg van die daar is, sien hoe buiten hy weer deur die draai gaan. Maar die afstand tussen Morganroot en Vihana, die BMW en die Mazda, is redelijk groot. Fanny Els is daar in die derde positie, so Fanny Els het weer opgeskuif en dit is 'n uitmuntende vertoning vir die GTV6 Alpha. Dit is waarvan ons vroeger jare gepraat het toe Alpha nog hier by ons in die land was, maar nog steeds is ons 'n hele klomp Alpha aanhangers en Alpha manne en dit doen my hart definitief baie goed om vir 'n Alpha weer eens hier in die derde positie te sien, die 3-liter Alpha van Fanny Els. Brian Bezuidenhout en Nissan Skyline is vierde, dan Pieter Lans, nummer 58, dis nie hy wat dan beeld is nie, maar ander Golf, dan Pieter Lans is vijfde, George Fisher die cadet PSI en die zesde Perry Driver en dan Johan Kutsi in die Escort. So Tony Viano en die BMW op hierdie stadium heel voor Ben Morgan in die Mazda hou sy posisie daar. Gary Dunkerley gaan verby en hier het ons vir nummer 19 B19 George Bezuidenhout en Roger heeft meer inlichting oor daai motor.
Well, that's Nicker van Winsberg. There he is. They're having a fair dust up there with Colin Clay just behind him. And there's Gary Dunkley, the arch enthusiast of motor racing in South Africa. He races Chevrons, he races these cars, Porsches a lot. Oh, and the Cornwrights motor, that is Don Brains has got trouble. That's a very pretty streamlined little motor car. The bonnet's open and he's not going to go far. He's trying to see underneath there. He says, just shut the bonnet, I want to get underway. But that other race going on nicely there with Nicker van Winsberg, he's bent it badly. He's not going to... Good work. That's what happens to your car when you take it into panel beaters. They're trying to get it closed. He says it's not closing. Saying, get me some tape, get me some straps. They want to get him underway. It's nice to see the urgency that they are working under there, and they just punch it out with those big heavy gloves they got on. All the drama race. And here's more action. Here's more action. We've got Brian Bezuidenhout here. This is for third position and closing on him. You see the Sabat the Golf of Peter Lance, and there's George Fishy. There's Fanny Els. There's Bezuidenhout. This is where the race lies at the moment. There's the little Golf of Peter Lance, and right behind him George Fishy comes into sight. The Springbok just back from Japan, as I say. Fanny Els, he's lying third at the moment. Fourth is Brian Bezuidenhout, the Vista Home Skyline, and Lance with that little Golf is getting around this circuit to great effect. He goes round yellow pages, exits towards a front-wheel drive car, and he's staying right in that sixth on the Skyline. These short straights, the lightweight of that car is certainly suiting each other as they close up on Elf, and George Fishy's not letting him get away in that Opel. That little yellow Opel, it's such an impressive looking little motor car. But this is his big competition ahead of him. There's George Fishy. It's a highly modified little Opel as they come up on some of the slower traffic. This race has only got to run to 10 laps they've gone 6 already. There's Neville Tillman getting past by Farney else, and Bezuidenhout's closing on him. So it's Peter Lance. That's Bezuidenhout's in the Vista Homes car. Lance looking for a way through as they came past Simon Krobler there. Flight engineer in the airways is Krobler, and Gloss is right on his tail, passing Tillman. George Fishy passing them as well as they get past Tillman. This is going to be a fight to the finish, and Brains has gone right into the Armco railing. You couldn't see where he's going. As he came out of Beringsman corner, he ran into the Armco and it's going to do a little bit more damage. But here it lies. This is where it is. Couple of car lengths, and they're all heavy action. That's the third man. That's the fourth man. There's the fifth. Third, fourth, fifth. And George Fishy is losing a bit of ground in sixth position. And just behind them, well known, 35 years in racing, is Paddy Driver in his Duckham's Mazda. And then, credibly, Johan Coetzee comes along next in his little Borg-Warner Escort. That's another great race going on just behind them. Just the 3 laps to go. They've done 7 laps now. There's Bezuidenhout, there's Peter Lance. George Fishy losing a bit of ground there. Watch him closing. Nicely turned out car. Brian Bezuidenhout has put this car looking very similar to the car that Henny van der Linde built. There's Fishy. The yellow car. Bezuidenhout holds the record now for spinning his skyline all the way from Sutton's corner down in Cape Town, about half a kilometre up to the Saybat sweep, all in one go, and frightening everybody through. He's starting to use that Armco for brake markers. He's staying right in there. He wants that third place badly, and he's prepared to stay right in there with him.
En die derde en vierde positie, Roger, daar is een groot strijd aan. Want de branden zijn dat de Nissan Scala in 2,8 meter Nissan Scala wil net bij die Alfa van Fanning als bijkomt. Daar kan ons zien, hij is kort op zijn hakken. Vooral daar die Beringman draai was die twee bijna aan elkaar geweest. Maar dat is interessant geweest om te zien toe altyd deur is, hoe altyd van hulle, die achterkant is so iets wat wegzak as die krachtweer geleverd word op die achterwiele. Byt die bande, die groot gladde, die renbande, byt hulle weer vast en dan trek hulle. So ek dink vir die derde en vierde posisie is die strijd nou grootliks aan. Peter Lance het so iets wat teruggesak in die Golf GTI. En George Boucher en die Opel Kadett is ook een hele eentje achter hulle. So Tony Viana op die stadium is die man wat voorloop in die BMW M5. Dan is het Ben Morgendoen in die Mazda RX-7. Dan Fanning Els nou in beeld in die wit Alfa GT4. En Brian Bezuidenhout in die Vista Homes Scala net achterom. Die van is hierdie keer lyk het daar kan ons sien in die voorbeeld so iets wat geluk het van Bezuidenhout se Nissan. En daar kom George Boucher net so klein flipsie op daar gesien vir George Boucher. En sy GT Kadett. Maar dan lyk het vir my as die Alfa se langer bene bietjie begin tel nou die 3 liter Alfa. En die Nissan Skyline kan net nie kom. Daar kan ons sien Brian Bezuidenhout het hard gerem daar, want daar het so iets wat van rook achteruit gekom. Daar kan ons sien, as hy weer daar die voet klap in die hoek trap, is dit die 2,8 liter 6 cilinder van daar die Nissan Skyline wat sing as hy daar afkom. So ek dink dit is 'n baie goeie gesig vir al die Alfa aanhangers wat verlang teen. Ek het nie baie Alfa's op ons bane gesien nie. Daar is nummer 31, dis Peter Lance in die Golf GTI. Peter Lance het sy eie werkswinkel waar hy motorstoor daar in Wynberg, en hy is die man wat ook self gebruik het. Die nieuwe bakwerk, die Golf 2 wat hy hier gery het, hy het op verlede seisoen met die ou Golf gery. So die Saybat Golf van Peter Lance is werklik waar 'n goeie vertoning. En hierdie wedren is byna verby en nou is daar voor die eerste.
Trying to get through in his Porsche. There's Larry Wolford in there too. They're all queue up for that corner. Nicker van Rensburg. There's Larry Wolford going through. There's Nicker van Rensburg. It looks like the Cape Town Alpha coming through there of Harrison's. Gary Harrison coming through, and Fiona safely through, passing the Cornwright's car, that very pretty one, as he comes through now. There's Larry Wolford going very nicely in that Saybat Mazda RX-7. Through the S's, the T and NS's. This is the last lap for Tony Viana. He's going to win this race by quite a considerable margin. Watch him into the final 2 corners. He goes round the sweep. He straightens the sweep. Now he's onto the brakes. You see the nose dip down. What a tremendous drive. He saved his car. This is an artist on circuits all over South Africa. A driver never to be underestimated is Tony Viana. Oh, and it's sliding all his way out of fourth. Comes across the line. And the lead will put a watch on him as he comes out here. And then there's Larry Wolford comes across the line, and he's got behind him Pat Duckham. Then Nicker van Rensburg come. They've been left by him, and we're just waiting for the Mazda to tell you just how far it is, if he's coming out of the corner at all. Here he comes across the line now. It's 17, nearly 18 seconds that Tony Viana has beaten Ben Morganroot in that the BP Mazda. So the final result of that race, Tony Viana winning in the Winfield BMW M5 ahead of Ben Morganroot in the BP Mazda RX-7. And then Fani Else came home in the Alpha just ahead of Vista Skyline, Vista Home Skyline. Peter Lance won the 2-litre class in the Golf GTR, that Sabat Golf, ahead of George Fishy in the Delta Motorsport Opel. Next came Paddy Driver in his Duckens Mazda, and winning Class D, the 1600 class, who out in the Borg Warner Escort. Other dances into Peter, do you use your tool? Did they talk to him and everything? They were running it on a 16-lap race. The next one is a Clubman's race, and then the standing group end to finish the day. It's 12 laps. It was a nice race, Gert. Baie mooi. Cut commentary, but nice race. It was lekker. I see some people moving away. You want crashes, that's what you... Now this is not the start though, eh? This is just them looking to see if the circle.
They're just lining up, eh? Hulle gaan eers weer stilstaan, ja. Ja, hulle gaan eers weer stilstaan by die wegspringlyn.
Ja, evening.
Lekker blou my ou.
Peter, just have a look at them getting the colours right.
Ja. Wat vind jij van een Opel GSI? What does he know about an Opel GSI? We're going to find that out. He's 80 seconds last.
Yeah.
That Perry Williams, you know, they went down to the Top Sport Master Drive.
So again?
Perry Williams came down to the Top Sport Master Drive. Never done a Gymkhana for 10 years.
Yeah?
She's got in 1.5 seconds faster than anybody. Never driven the car before. She's got in and... Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, they're co-drivers, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So where do you say you're staying, John? Friend.
Evolution.
Can we into that shot of the driver? Let's see if it is Dickie Atwood, can we? On the right hand, the right hand yellow car.
In the cadet, in the Opel.
I zoom in right in. The yellow car, other side.
Geel, yeah.
We just want to see if the driver is Atwood. Can we get closer? Is that it? Looks like Rodney Tim to me. I think it's Rodney Tim. If he's got a grey helmet, no, you got to also be able to see, you know what I mean?
One can't smell in this machine.
I look now.
And right in front of us now are the CMD Group N standing cars, and it's just a really good job to get him up here. Thank you very much for the glass of water there, Donovan, thank you. Serge Danson at 45, right alongside of car 50, Rodney Tim, the cadet GSI, we got some fun games down like 30 something. 47 Mark 1 of the Conquest, and it's 48 Young Steele of the Conquest. So there's some good tries. The goals are 90 from the line 7, Rodney Tim 91 from the step 3, Young Steele at 91. 91.8. So the first 4 cars taken by a pretty small bank at the time, and it's a really good basket. They're common play, and the Conquest with 93.06, Willie Hepburn, with 93.21, the laser TS3, that's Neil Brink, and the man for EGI with a time of 93.31, and Ben Morgan's room with 93.53, so that's a good rule.
It's not Atwood, it's Tim, T-I-M-M for number 150, but we'll tell him that. It's not Dickie Atwood, it's Rodney Tim. I'll tell you, I'm going to see as his car comes past now.
It's
Tim, it is Tim. It's Rodney Tim, okay, it's T-I-M-M. That is it. Sitting in there, you can't believe how fast it's going. It doesn't look it, but it is. And this is the third round of the Stanley Group N Coastal Inland Championship, rather. Sorry, start again. This is the third round of the Stanley Group N Inland Series Championship. And as you can see there now, a visitor to the series, Serge Damser from Cape Town, is on pole. Rodney Tim from Port Elizabeth. So they're both visitors to the championship, won't count for points, but certainly in there to give them lots of competition. Johan could see, you've seen in the West Bank modified cars. He's in third position. Alongside him, he's got the champion last year, Mike White, in the Toyota, the Works Toyota Conquest. Colin Clay is in a Mayerton Conquest. Willie Hepburn there is leading Class D in a little Sabat Laser TX3 ahead of Neil Brink, the ex-Carter Durban man and development engineer at Samcor. He's in the Mazda EGI. And then Ben Morganroot, also in the Mazda EGI, the South African production saloon car champions. They come down towards a big field. This is just classes C and D, as they call them. That's the 2-litre class, and also the 1500, the 1600cc class. As they go down now through C and N corner, they've got S's as they go through there. There's Ben Morgan, who you see in your picture, those that know him. We've got the Hondas in there as well. There's Mike O'Sullivan, his Honda. Graham Blankley is just behind him, 57, 55. Watch those two, they're going well. And Colin Hasty, he's right at the very back of the field. Left-hand side, you can see Opel on his windscreen, left-hand side, just in front of the Lamborghini. He started to have a bit of a coming together in practice, and in fact set up a time that puts him on the back of the starting grid. They come towards us. The pace car's moving out the way. The 190 Mercs out the way, and here they go. It's Serge Dams in the front, and he's ahead of Rodney Tim. Johan Coetzee, he's on the outside. Mike White's on the inside. Who's going to get it? It's Johan Coetzee gets it. Then it's Serge Damser. Then Colin Clay's right in there with him. Yeah, it's Mike White in third position. Serge Damser in the Conquest going nicely. Tim is next. He won the race overall down East London the other week when they found his ride height. Was a little out there. Somebody pulling to the side. I don't know who that is. Is it Morgan who look in the back? Oh, there goes Morgan. Let's have a look. Is that all conference squeeze? Hasty's already taken up 4 places, as you see, and here we are. Serge Damse, Western Province Race and Rally Champion. He's won the Valvoline National Rally this year. He's won the Volkswagen and Go Rally, so he's well ahead in the championship points as they come towards us, and he certainly is a great all-rounder. In fact, he's in the Top Sport Master Drivers finals as well. A great driver is Serge Damse. As he comes down to the chicane, be hard on the brakes, they've got to line it up, come through. Willie Hepburn pulls to the side of the road as they go through the TNN S's. TNN is Toyota, sort of radiators into motor racing and into that corner, and here they come now towards us, and it's the Conquest. Serge Damse, Rodney Tim, fine driver from the Eastern Province. Lane Championship. The coastal one is in fact run at East London, Port Elizabeth and Durban. Inland is Tailami, Welkom, Lichtenberg and down here in Durban. It's a Conquest, nice little lead he's got there, a big lead by these standards in these races here. Then we've got Rodney Tim, then we've got Mike White, Johan Kutsia. Looks like Colin Clay's moving into the picture there. Moving up there is Clay. Watch for all Hasty, he should be in this pack, he's trying to push, there he comes. He's the third one through in that yellow Opel there, he's just gone through there now, so he's made up another place. So Colin Hasty's got a long, hard drive ahead of him in the 16 lap race.
En die 16 rond de wedren is nogal moordend op die stadbaan of die straatbaan hier in Durban. Het lijkt me alsof Serge Damse in die 16 clip, die 1600cc 16 clip Conquest onder die race van Leitrijk. Rodney Tim is die enigste cadet daar tussen hulle, is die cadet GSI, die 1,8 liter brandstof ingespuite cadet. Johan Kutsia, wat ons ook ken, wat in die andere motor, die Westbank andere motors in die 1600cc klas baie goed doen in sy Esco. Hy is daar in sy 16 clip Conquest. Mike White, verlede jaar se wenner, is dan in die vierde posisie. Ben Morgenrood in die Mazda EGI is in die spijte posisie met Neil Brink en nog een Mazda 7e. So dit lyk vir ons na Conquest, Cadet en Mazda EGI's wat hier so die boot invoer in die groep 1 wedren vir die van Saltel vir die binnenlandse kampioenskappe. Maar daar is nummer 48 in beeld, Johan Kutsie, iemand wat al vir baie jare deelneem. Hierdie is sy eerste deelname in groep 1 en in die 16 clip Conquest, die RSI, waar hy baie goed aan doen en hy is daar in die derde posisie. Maar Serge Damse is die man wat heeltemal onder uitreik. Serge is ook baie bekend natuurlijk vir sy wedrendeel, sy tydren deelname. Iemand wat werkelijk waar net so tyd is op een teerbaan as wat hy in die losgrond is. Maar ek reken is daar die ondervinding van hom wat baie tel, vooral hier so in die kort draaikies. Daar kan ons sien hoe Rodney Tim die voorwiel van die cadet oplig, as hy daar oor die effens van die randsteen baie nou gaan, daai konkreet reken ek is baie hard en dit is 'n paar millimeters wat daar gemis het. Maar die baan is baie nou, die draai is op mekaar, daar is nie eintlik pylvakke nie, so die 500 meter is die langste pylvak wat daar is. En hier so is die Beringman, die bekende Beringman draai, die 360 grade draai terug in die spore waar jy gekom het. En daar kan ons sien dat die cadet van Johan Kutsie op die Conquest van Johan Kutsie op die hakke van Rodney Tim is, met Mike White net agter hom. So die eerste 5 posisies is daar Conquest met die cadet GSI, die enigste geel motor en die enigste Opel cadet daar tussen die Conquest. En Rodney Tim het al die spanning op hom op hierdie stadium, hy het Opel se naam hoog hou, die Delta span se naam hoog hou. En hierdie groep 1 vir standaardmotors, die motors is net so beskikbaar, soos wat word net so gereis as wat hulle in die vertoonlokale beskikbaar is. Dit is juist hierom wat ek reken dat hierdie wedrenformule so opwindend is, want die motor wat daar in ons motorhuis staan, dit is waarmee ons hier kan vergelyk. En dit is die klas C en D, so van 2 liter af. En dan Serge Damse wat hier so definitief die boot invoer met Rodney Tim in die geel GSI in tweede posisie, Johan Kutsie derde in die Conquest, Mike White en nog een Conquest vierde, Colin Clay het opgeskuif en nog een Conquest in die vijfde, en dan is die eerste EGI een van Neil Brink. Het lijkt vir my asof Morgenrood uitgesak het met sy EGI, so onder die eerste 5 is daar 4 Toyota Conquest. Daar is die Westbank draai van, ons kan sien hoe die motors oorleen. Dit is standaard skokbrekers, soos dat die motors uitkom wat daar gebruik word, die bande is standaard, en hierdie gee 'n goeie idee vir ons van die werkverrigting van standaard motors.
And here they go now, it's the 150 is Tim and he's been pushed all the way. We've done 3 laps now, we're on the 4th lap, there's a 16 lap race, and towards the end of this race, with all the pressure on the components on these motor cars, those brakes are going to get hot. The tires are going to get hot, you're going to see them slip around the road a lot more. And then the braking is going to be absolutely vital coming into those corners. Here they come to the chicane. They've just got to touch the brakes, line it up and bullet it through. Here they come. Damzu through, Tim's through, and look, peeping his nose out there is Johan Kutsia. Doesn't have a number on his screen like the others, but he's certainly giving a good account of himself. New into Group N racing, into standing racing, and he's pushing it. And you find they start to lock wheels as they line up for this, the right-hander here. This is where they're onto the brakes. This morning the smell of tyre smoke down there as they lock those wheels and just slide across the road. Very spectacular there was Colin Burford. So this is finishing 4 laps. We're a quarter way through this race. These cars are really being put to the test. They're 1800cc 8-valve motors, and they're also 1600cc 16-valve motors. And then the Class D is the 1600cc 8-valve motors. Sounds a little bit complicated maybe. So the 1800 8-valve and the 1600 16 valves run together. Some now using all the road, and then the 1600 normal cars run all together. So could see he's pushing it, no doubt about it. Just behind him he's got Mike White. There's Mike White staying thereabouts, nothing much in it. Just behind him you see Colin Clay. He's in the Mayerton Toyota Conquest. Then we've got Neil Brink, a very good account of himself. He's in fact the first Mazzi's through. What's Tim going to do back? Going to get in the inside? He can't. As you put your foot down, the car just wants to go across the road. And could see the Toyotas are 1 and 2 now. Squeezing out Rodney Tim. Then Mike White, he wants to push past Rodney. And then we've got Neil Brink, former Natal karting champion. He's there in 6th position. Brandon Salzman going well in his Conquest. He's got an Akai Conquest, and then Ben Morganrood. I think he slipped down a wee bit from the early laps. The fastest lap so far is by Serge Damzu. Serge Damzu has put up the fastest lap so far. And there's nothing between those three, nothing that all can start happening shortly. One mistake as they come up to finish lap 6 with 10 to do. It's like a full Grand Prix for these cars. Such willing little motor cars. These are the pocket rocket classes. Type of car that's very fast on the streets. They have top speeds of something like 200 kilometers an hour, just short of 200 kilometers an hour. And they'll be using all this on the circuit. As they go down to Beringman Bend, they'll be doing upwards of 180 kilometers an hour. Our shot as they come down here. Mike White is starting to close on Rodney Tim now. Look how he goes through West Bank corner. Just clipping the curve, gets the wheel in the air. Duction behind, there's Colin Clay, and there's the other race coming up the road. Just behind them is Neil Brink with Brandon Salzman a little way behind. So with 10 laps to go, there's the order. Damzu, we see him in the front there in the Works Toyota. Johan Kutsi has pushed himself into 2nd position, but Rodney Tim been worried there by Mike White. So he got so he beat him on braking. He went into Berryman corner as they come down to it. Not much between it. They're approaching us now at about 180 k's an hour. There's Dick Sorensen standing on the left-hand side of the road. He'll be waving on some of the West Bank modified drivers who are driving in this. Oh, we're cleaning our windscreen now. A wee bit of oil ahead of him. Pushing through. Such capable motor cars, the type of handling that could have won Grand Prix about 10-15 years ago. That's how capable the standard saloon car is today. Nice shot of Rodney Tim. The right hander, you can see the inside back wheel. It's a front wheel drive, of course. The inside back wheel starts to lift as they come up to finish another lap. They've got 9 laps to go as away they go.
Ja nee, uitstekende vertoonlokaal vir die vervaardigers in Suid-Afrika, die groep N standaardmotors, en soos Roger gesê het, hierdie word genoem die pocket rockets. Dit is die kleiner motors van ongeveer of van kleiner as 2 liter van 2000 cc, en die meeste van hulle kan tot 200 km/h haal. So dit is, ek dink vir die algemene man op straat en vir die gesinsman wat iets wat van 'n bietjie spoed soek, is hierdie klas C en D werklik waar seker van die interessantste klasse wat op hierdie stadium oorheers word deur die Toyotas. Maar daar kan ons sien dat ons vriend Tim het daarom heeltemal misreken met die Beringman draai, en hy's daar oor die kegels en terug in die baan. Hy het omtrent net so 2 posisies verloor, en dit gaan nou die kadets eerste, tweede, derde en vierde plaas, en Rodney Tim het sy kanse daar iets wat verspeel toe hy nie sy draai gekry het nie. Ons gesien dat die lyk of die rem vasgeslaan het, en hy kon nie die motor deurdraai deur die Beringman draai nie, en hy was gedwonge, noodgedwonge moes hy reg het aan deur die kegels gaan. Maar dit is die standaard motor, dit is wat gebeur, en dit is die hantering van die motors wat die deurslag gee.
Well, John, now he's got problems because he's fighting it out with Ben Morganrood. There's Morganrood coming into shot now. That's the The Salzman Clay dice going on, and just behind them there you can see Neil Brink, and there's Ben Morganroot. He's just behind them ahead of Rodney Tim. So Tim's all but blown his chances now for sure. There's those three. There's another little dice behind. There's Morganroot. There's another great one going on. The 61 is Clay. That makes the Conquest 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 at the moment. Absolutely dominating this class with those little 16 valve RSI motors. This is the type of car that set up those South African long distance records, and you can see they use every trick in the book. That's a slipstream in. There's Morganroot coming with Tim just behind him. This is the dice at the moment. Going through there is Brandon Salzman. Neil Brink's on his tail. Ben Morganroot then bringing up the rear is Rodney Tim. A full-scale war. Mayo Toyota's RSI. That's the fifth one, the fourth one and fifth one. And then Neil Brink's right in there in that Mazda. Looking very nice. There he is. That's Neil Brink, a development engineer who works on these cars all week as a carter as well. He comes from this part of the neck of the woods, and he's on his home circuit, as it were. Mind you, everybody's on this track for the first time. Watch Ben Morgan. He's an aggressive driver. Use the wider line. Oh, he's pushing. Brink is pushing, and there we go. That's the door handle stuff. Brandon Salzman got pushed right into Colin Clay, and Ben Morganroot is using it to an advantage. Look at him going down the left-hand side. They're all waving each other in the car. You can see Morganroot's lining himself up. Come on, that is not Rodney Tim there. That's Colin Burford just behind them. So there's another man who's been at racing longer. These are kamikaze kids here. Some of them got a lot of years of racing experience, and that's the end of him. There goes Colin Burford, and 50 is Brandon Salzman in that Akai Conquest. Has got problems. Morganroot shoved him out of the way into the tire. Oh, and some more. He came through there. Who's that one there? It was I'm not sure who that was in fact. Here we come through now. And 50, he's had a lot of banging. Look at that door there. Brandon Salzman, the Akai Toyota Conquest gets pushed off the circuit. There's Burford, wheels locking, lets them go. And Salzman's been pushed away. Then they get underway, and they're still in the race, but looking very second-hand. As we always say, if you're wanting to get into standing group in racing, find yourself a good panel beater who can work quickly.
Ja nee, en Ben Morganroot is juist, hy is die eienaar van 'n paneelklopper besigheid. Maar dit is nou die tipiese voorbeelde van wedrenne wat ons sien in groep N. Soos altyd sê, dit is 3 speeltjies en deurraad van handvatsels en wel, min van die motors het wieldoppe, maar as 'n wieldoppe gehad het, dan oor die hele baan gelê. So dit is presies wat gebeur in die groep N wedrenne, aangesien die motors almal standaard is en dit hoofsaaklik van die bestuurders verskil, van die renjaars verskil. Dit is hoekom ons hierdie baie opwindende wedrenne sien waar die gaping tussen hulle millimeters is en elkeen sy bes probeer om daar voor te kom. Met Ben Morganroot het geen ander keuse gehad nie, want Salzman was voor hom gewees. Morganroot gerem en hy het maar net met Salzman so 'n bietjie vorentoe gedruk. Dit het nie gelyk asof Morganroot er weggekom het nie, maar Salzman, alhoewel hy sy wiele vir 'n hele ruk in die lug was, het Salzman dit reg gekry om weer terug in die baan te wees, en dan gaan hy aan met sy standaard Toyota Conquest, en daar kan ons sien van watter gehalte hierdie motors gedoen is. Maar terug na die posisies, is dit Serge Damsou wat nog steeds wil wegloop met almal. Johan Coetzee agter hom in die tweede posisie, Mike White aan die ander Conquest. Tim wat heeltemal teruggesak het, Colin Klein in die ander Conquest, Neil Brink, Colin Burford en Tini Oosthuizen. So Serge Damsou is nog steeds die man voor. Daar's 9 rondes wat reeds verby is met Damsou, Coetzee, White, Tim wat bietjie teruggesak het, Klein en Brink. Maar die Toyota Conquest lyk vir my asof hulle die wedren oorheers met die 1600cc engines, maar professioneel die draai moet geneem word, aangesien dit totaal 360 grade is 'n haarnaal draai, jy moet terug en op hom, en ek reken ons gaan 'n hele paar stukkies, 3 speels en nommerplate en alles optel na hierdie wedren, want die mededinging is onsaglik sterk, en dit is presies dit wat hierdie formule wedren so opwindend maak. Van die Alpha Export wat ook hier deelneem, nummer 69 is Vincent Bullis en sy Alpha Export, dit is die 1500cc, so dis die kleiner van die laer klasse wat hier deelneem, saam met die nuwe tegnologie 16 klep 1600cc motors en die 800 brandspuite GSI.
And that's Anvar Haffergy and his Export just behind him, still giving very good service there. Good handling motor car, the one that they all base their suspension and car layout on to get good handling motor cars. Very good indeed. Little flat 4 1500 motor. So Serge Damsou, there he is in the front there, showing what it's all about. He's very good driving blind in rallies. He is so quick at taking things in, and he's adapted to the street circuit like a duck. The battle goes on behind as they start to get through the traffic. Surge makes it look easy in front. Here comes more action. We'll see how they all get through safely. Could see second, Mike White's third. Tim is still in the picture. There he is now. So he's gone back to fourth. So the gap there between the four of them is 10.5 seconds. So to all intents and purposes, Dams has won this one. They finished 10 laps. They're on their 11th lap at the moment. Here they come for heavy braking. Going up the inside is looks like Brink. And it's pretty through. That's on he goes. And here they come down. Here they're going towards us. There's a couple of Hondas in here. We haven't seen them coming to light in the front of this race yet. Here's the Alpha still giving a very good account of it as Tim pops his nose up. He wants through the traffic now. They're starting to lap these cars, but being well driven. And there's Tim now. He's been in the wars. You've seen he went straight onto the depot at that one corner. And here it goes round the Kings Park Stadium. There's a sweep. They'll straighten that one out. Now as they get here, they start getting onto the angle. Again, a little laser ahead of him. He went straight on in practice this morning. I saw him. Wheels all locked on, straight on to the depot. So Tim's got to get past him. He wants to get further up the field. He wants at some of those front runners, those conquests. He's got Colin Clay not far behind him. There's Neil Brink there. There's Burford giving a very good account of himself. And now coming into the picture, Tina Eusthuizen might pick him up a little later in the race. So on the 12th lap, they've got to go to lap 16. See the difference in the 1.8 GSI Opel. Watch him. Goes very tight. Neat piece of driving. That's through the West Bank S's as they come out of there, and that's 500 meters down. It's quite a long. It looks shorter on this shot here, but in fact it's 500 meters, and you'll be onto the brakes just about now. You see as the race goes on. Here they come. This is a good race going on here. Hans Joubert just pushing out that Alpha. Oh, well that was not nice. I don't know why I did that. He either ran right out of brakes, was trying to get him to slow down, or had just had enough of it. I'm not sure what happened there. It just looked, it might have been a bit of oil, got out of control as he went onto his brakes. And here he comes down here. Now he's on the middle of the road as he comes down towards us. He's just moving straight over to his brake mark. He looks almost intent of just pushing him off the road. Well, that's going to be one expensive fix for both of those cars as the headlights and bits of bump and everything goes off. So that Alpha very, very much second hand as it was bashed into that Armco railing. Can't work out. Could only be got out of control. There's a Honda. There's a Honda in this race. That could be Graham Blankfield coming along, the little 1.5 or 1.5i, 150i Honda as he comes towards us. That's Mike O'Sullivan. Sullivan goes through a very capable driver indeed. Sitting on Dams's tail. Dams in fact has just come round and lapped him as they go round the sweep at the Kings Park Stadium. Just a few laps to go. Dams, it looks like he's all set to take a checkered flag first.
Ja, dit lyk my asof die tydren jaar, die tydren kampioen op hierdie stadium, soos Roger vroeg gesê het, baie maklik aangepas het by hierdie straatwedrenne hier in Durban. Want ek reken die kort draadjies en die kort pylvakke is presies wat Damsou aan gewoond is. Daar kan ons nou kyk na 12 rondes, is dit nog steeds Serge Damsou met Coetzee, White, Tim, Klein en Brink. Maar ek reken dat Serge Damsou werklik waar hierdie kort draadjies en die kort pylvakke interessant gevind het en baie maklik daarbij aangepas het, aangesien het baie soos die tydren routes is waar mens baie skielik moet draai en jou hantering, jou rem en weer dan uit die draai uittrek wat die belangrikste is. En Serge Damsou het op hierdie stadium baie goeie voorsprong. Johan Coetzee en Mike White is nou so pas voorbij, daar kom hulle twee. Hulle het nog een strijd aan vir die tweede en derde posisie en met precies dezelfde motors. Ratting Tim is daar in die vierde. Hy het, soos ons vroeger gesien het, dat hy bietjie daar naby die strand van omdraai en nie sy draai precies gekry nie. En hy wat in die voorste gedeeltes geveg het vroeger in die wedren, moes teruggesak het in die vierde posisie. Colin Clay en die ander conquest is sit vijfde met Neil Brink in die Mazda EVE. Maar die strijd is aan vir die tweede en derde nou in beeld. Dit is tussen Johan Coetzee en Mike White. Mike natuurlijk die vorige seisoens wenner in die Stannick wedrenne en iemand waarmee definitief baie goed rekening gehou word. Johan Coetzee is een van die nieuwe deelnemers in die Stannick groep N. Hy is al vir 'n geruime tyd besig wat hy al die rekord ook hou vir die 1660 motor klas. En hier is hy baie behendig agter die stuur van 'n 16 Conquest en Mike White probeer alles wat hy kan om by ons by te kom. Hierdie is seker die langste pylpad wat ons het en dit is ongeveer so 500 meter deur die haarnaal draai en kyk hoe naby is hulle aan mekaar. Die Beringman draai, kyk hoe naby is hulle aan mekaar, by mekaar as hulle daar verby gaan en Mike White en Johan Coetzee trek onder Rodney Tim uit. Ons het hom nog glad nie in beeld gesien hier, so hy is 'n hele paar meter agter hulle. As gevolg van sy onder ons hier voor met die oranje tegels het hy hele entjie verloor. Colin Klein, Neil Brink en Colin Burford in die Conquest Mazdas en nog 'n Conquest. So die 16 klip Conquest wil vir my lyk asof hulle die klas CMD totaal alreeds met die man heel voor Serge Damsou wat ons saglik goed aangepas het by hierdie kort draadjies van die straatbaan in Durban.
And there's no ways Mike White wants to let Johan Coetzee beat him into second place. White has been overseas. He used to race Fords and other cars, Formula 2000 cars in England and in Europe, and in fact beat the likes of Nigel Mansell, beat the likes of Nelson Piquet. So you've got a very capable driver, and you can see him in the car. He's starting to lead forward behind that wheel, and that means trouble. White is working out where he's going to get past. Johan Coetzee, he's also a very experienced driver. Looks in his mirror as he goes in here. They're quick through here. Oh, and they're just missing that Armco railing. I think they run in Unedited tyres. Those tyres are being tested right to the limit. There they're signalling, and he's starting to flash his lights there. That's Johan Coetzee. So look under the brakes. There's a car stuck down here in the rails. You can see somebody's car stuck down there. I don't know whose it is. As away he goes, and Johan Coetzee still stays in second position. Mike White making desperate plans now to get past him. We're on lap 15, there's a lap and a half to go. Sending it round the sweep, coming towards us at about 180 k's an hour. They'll just come down a gear, push it through the chicane here. In fact, that's a lot tighter than it looks there. They straighten it out. They come towards us, going very quickly. The wheels are lifting as they go through there, and it's going to be just a few corners before they get to the end of this race. This will be the end of the lap 15, and then we just have 16 to do. There's Mike White. We can actually, just sitting up in our commentary box, you can smell the hot tyres and the clutches and the brakes they've been given these cars. A total of, there's the first three in your picture. Here's 2 and 3. Coetzee and Mike White, and they are now into their last lap. What is going to happen? Damsou goes through Volkswagen corner. Let's watch him round the circuit. Coetzee, I don't think is going to he's certainly not going to let him through. Rodney Tim is bringing up 4th position in the Opel 1.8 GSI. Then we've got Colin Clay a little further back, and then leading the 1600 class 8-valve motor is Neil Brink in the Mazda, Colin Burford in a Mazda second. So they're doing very nicely, and of course Ben Morganrood pushing that other car off, that salesman car off, has given up his chances of winning in that particular class. Here they come, onto the brakes. This could be his last chance to do it, because he's going to keep the road very much to himself. Is Johan Coetzee as those 3 victorious conquests leave Beringman corner and set off down there. 70 km/h speed limit on the motorway, as you see, not worrying about it. There's 200 meters to the next corner. Here they come approaching very quickly, and White can only hope that Coetzee makes a mistake. As they come in there, and ahead of them they've got there's Damsou through. There's Damsou on his way to the flag. As they go round the sweep, it's lights flashing already. It's a great victory there for Serge Damsou. What a great all-rounder this is. You'll be able to see him on Top Sport in the Master Driver Series as well. He does exceptionally well. Coming round, going to take the flag, and there he comes. Serge Damsou from Cape Town, Western Province Race and Rally Champion. Coetzee's in second position, and in third position Mike White, all in the Works Toyotas. It's 1, 2, 3 for Toyota, and Rodney Tim will be coming across the line. You can just catch a glimpse of him there in the Opel Kadett GSI 1800 in 4th position after taking an excursion off the road. Colin Clay's next in his Conquest. So it's been a great race for the Conquest, the Toyotas, and leading the Class D is Neil Brink, coming home first in his Mazda EGI, and Colin Burford, who also works at the Sandcourt plant, he's come home in number 70, his Mazda EGI as well. Great racing at the Yellow Pages Durban Street Classic.